Say the names of your loved ones as I pour. If you don't say their name, they're not going to say your name when you go.
I'm the Chief of Staff with the San Francisco District Attorney's Office, but more importantly is I stand here in front of you all as a sister of an older brother that was murdered from violence.
Little love for the young man that we're here to honor and all the others whose names we will, during this time, say their name. Aubrey Abracasa. Everybody say Aubrey. Aubrey. Say Aubrey. Aubrey. Now your voice has vibrated through this water, and this is really a special liquid now. Put your hands together for the Mayor of San Francisco, the Honorable London Breed.
I want to appreciate Paulette and her work and her advocacy over the years, especially in light of how far we've come. In this particular neighborhood where I grew up, gun violence was all too often. And right now, it's peaceful, it feels good in this neighborhood. It definitely looks a lot different and feels a lot different, but the pain is still here. And I can think of, when I think about the people that we've lost over the years, I can almost imagine not just their faces, but the places that they were killed. And it was all too common. And it just takes me back to a time where we lived in fear and a lot of hurt and a lot of pain. And the pain stays, but we're able to live with it differently. And that's why Paulette's courage of being here today and bringing all of us here together is a testament to her strength of character and her desire to not see another mom go through what she has had to go through. The work and the advocacy that we've done, even before I was mayor on the Board of Supervisors, in fact, providing a real award to information leading to the arrest and conviction of people who have taken the lives of some of the folks that we lost. The work and the advocacy that we need to continue to do to get guns off our streets, and I really appreciate the work we did with Malia Cohen to get rid of the sale of, just magazines, and the work that we did with Sean Richard and Brothers Against Guns to finally shut down the stuff around selling and having these gun shows at the Cow Palace, and the Ghost Guns and Catherine Stephanie and Myrna and others on the board helped to do. It's all of this work that's necessary that has gotten us to a place, where gun violence has declined significantly, more so than it has in almost the entire history of this city. When we look at how far we've come and the work that we have done, it is really remarkable, but we also realize that the loss of one person is too many. And so I want to thank all of you for being here and for remembering, whether it's Aubrey or whether it's your child or anyone else who we've lost over the years. Thank you for remembering and honoring their legacy and recognizing that the hurt, the pain, it never goes away, but we live with it, and as we live with it, we honor their legacy by the work that we do, by how we make sure that the next person, it doesn't happen to them, that we're protecting and preserving life to the absolute fullest. And I really want to appreciate so many of the people that we know are on the front lines of helping with this work and have been for many, many years. Before SVIP was SVIP, it started with Victor Jones, who wasn't getting paid, who was out there trying to stop retaliation when a shooting occurred in this neighborhood, and folks like that. And CRN became, the Community Response Network became SVIP, and all of this work so many of you do every day still to help combat these issues. And I want to thank the folks at Northern Station, all the members of the San Francisco Police Department for their work and their advocacy and their aggressiveness around these investigations, and to United Players, who continues to play an important role in helping with this work, to Maddie Scott and the Healing Circle, and to Sala and the work that we've done over the years together, especially after the loss of her son, who I absolutely loved and adored, and to all of the different groups and organizations, Moms that Demand Action, and so many of you who are here today. Thank you for your consistent work and advocacy here locally. Thank you for your work and advocacy on the statewide level, because the ultimate goal of this today is not one more life lost to senseless gun violence. That is what today represents, is honoring the legacy of the ones that we lost, and doing so by recognizing that their life had value, and we have to work just as hard to ensure that this does not happen to one more person ever. Thank you.
I want to start by thanking you for your incredible persistence in elevating the issue of gun violence, in putting a human face on the loss that you and others, I'm looking around, I know others here, have lost loved ones. And years and years later, with every reason to lose faith in all of us in elective office in every department, years and years later, when you don't have resolution after this kind of loss, it'd be easy to give up. And I just want to really recognize you as we're here today for never giving up, for coming to the Police Commission week after week, for coming to the Board of Supervisors over and over again with a message of elevating your son, demanding that people recognize his legacy, demanding that people see your pain and your family's pain from losing your son, and also challenging all of us to do more. And I want to recognize and thank Chief Scott, and I know you mentioned investigators' responsiveness and yeah, oh, absolutely. But the department has continued to offer not only the reward, as we talked about, but also keep in touch with you during this time about the status. And I gotta say, I know for the investigators, I'm sure for the chief, it's not an easy thing to not have answers, right? To call up a mom who's lost her kid and not have answers. But I want to commend the chief and his team for making those calls, for keeping you up to date. I also want to thank you for your advocacy at the board, and we've been working together, as you just mentioned, to make sure that in addition to this annual event honoring Aubrey's memory, that we rename this 1500 block of Grove Street in honor of Aubrey. And that was a commitment that we made last year when we were standing in this very place, I think right after our police department showed they had a lot of rhythm in the drumming circle. Yeah. And right after that, we talked about that, and that was a commitment that I made to you at that time. And we have now introduced that at the Board of Supervisors, and I don't like to mix legislative things with, with this kind of event. But in this one case, I'm going to, because I want to encourage you all to come on September 9th to the Land Use and Transportation Committee. And we have the chair of that committee here who's agreed to hear it, despite lots of items that they're trying to get on that agenda. Chair Melgar has agreed to hear that in the first meeting back from our recess. So please, if you can, come out 1:30 in the afternoon on September 9th to speak out in support of renaming this block so that next year when we gather, there will be a sign right there specifically honoring Aubrey and all of your tireless work over the years, not just for his memory, but also for all the other folks, and really preventing other families from having to experience what you have. So thank you so much, Paulette, for all your advocacy.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here.
God, thank you for bringing me here today to share my time and my spirit and my love with those who are grieving and those who are survivors and those who want answers for their son and their family members and stuff like that. And I want to thank Rudy Corpus first and foremost for giving me the platform to be a part, and my and the rest of my brothers and United players for giving me the platform, and because I just came home from doing 22 years, and I want to honor Antonio Young because I took Antonio Young's life on August 16, 2001. So I want to say I'm sorry again, and your name will not go in vain, and I'm still pushing for righteousness for you and your family. And I want to say, for my father also, my father was murdered in June 13, 2018. And it's not just about me, it's about everybody. So thank you, Rudy, for for embracing me and allowing me to, to heal myself. You know what I mean? And I've been out 7 months. I had a life sentence, and I changed and rehabilitated, and now I'm blessed, with freedom again, and here I am with United Players, and we're serving our purpose.
Thanks, Sean.
Well, Aubrey's my first son. Aubrey's my first son, and he was born. Okay, Aubrey's my first son, and he was born here in Grove Street. And he attended St. Dominic School and Gateway. But for some reason, things happened. I lost him, but I do have, other daughters, Pearl and Serena. Champagne, and that's it.
There's sometimes he can't make it. I won't say I'm stronger than him, but I want to say that the first time, all the years that I've been with his father, I never seen him cry. I'd never seen him cry. But when our son was murdered, that was the first time I saw tears come out of his eyes. And I used to worry about what's wrong with him because he never cried. He never heard it. When his brother Day died and when his mother died, I didn't see the tears. But when this boy of ours died, I saw the tears. So I'm glad you're here. His auntie, Oningie, they came from London and all over Africa to come to the funeral. I was so happy. He went to St. Dominic's Catholic School when the nuns wore the hats. And he would always go to the church right there at St. Dominic's, and they had a little water fountain, and they would go in there and touch it with their fingers. And I raised my son to know who God is. I raised him well. I was a no-nonsense mom. When I seen him walking and doing things maybe he shouldn't have, I'm not saying my son was perfect, but as the mother of him, I made sure that as long as his skin was black, I worried. And I used to tell him, be careful. Don't walk by no cars. I don't want you to get pulled over by the police. I don't want them to think you're breaking into any cars. He also, even though I worried about those things, look, his life was still taken. Right here in these streets. Because all he said was run. We loved our neighbors. They played on our stairs. They played together. And he was like me. If you see something, say something. But I didn't tell him to put himself in the way. But I'm so glad God gave him to me. 9 months, 10 pounds, 9 ounces. Ripped me from the front to the back. But I thank God for him. I thank God for everything. I thank God for you, all of you that come today. We are thinking about unsolved homicides and victims of violence. These cases aren't solved. My son's case isn't solved. It is a cold case. So me as his mother continue to keep the memory of my son and all other unsolved homicides, as you can see on those posters over there, in the communities and in the officials' eyesight. We wanted to let them know that we as mothers are still suffering in silence from mental health. There's some mothers that are self-medicating and can't get out the house. But I refuse to do that. I refuse to take a pill. I'm gonna go, you'll see me like I am now, raw. And even if I gotta get on my knees and cry, I will. I've been to several, the San Quentin, Bernal Heights. My son worked for Bernal Heights Recreation Center. He worked there that day. I can go on, but I'm not gonna go on because I want other speakers to speak. And, the chief is here. Where is he? I would like, I think he's being interviewed. Make sure, could you come on?
Hi, everybody. So I did just give an interview, but I want to share what I said to KPIX a minute ago. First and foremost, I admire Ms. Brown so much because since 2006, she and her family and this community have never given up on her son's case, never. And she pushes us, she supports us, and we need all of that. But it gives me and I think everybody out here from the SFPD hope that one day we will solve this case. And I know there's a lot of hurt out there, just like there's a lot of hurt with Ms. Brown and her family. But there's a lot of other people that have lost loved ones, senseless violence. And for us to come together as a community to do the things that are necessary as a community, even though sometimes we don't always agree, we come from different sides of any issue, different sides of the world, whatever. But when it counts, this city comes together. Rudy knows what I'm talking about. United Players knows what I'm talking about. And, you know, even though Aubrey was not a gang member, that attachment, that stigma is something that Ms. Brown and this family has had to deal with since 2006. And I think it's important for her that everybody understands that her son was a good young man. And so we will always be with you, and you see all the people out here to support you. We have our homicide unit out here. We have Captain Mallinger, we have Lieutenant Sanders, we have Sergeant Delaney, we have retired Inspector Newland, who I think is working on your case. Scott Warnke, who was here the night that it happened, I believe. So, and we have Commander Jackson. I know I'm missing some people, but the bottom line is all of those folks are here for you and your family and for Aubrey.
And for everybody too. I don't want everybody say I'm selfish, but I want everyone that lost a loved one.
Here you go.
We wanna be together. Strength is in numbers. Yes. Strength is in numbers. We should not be jealous of each other. Let's come together. Like Chief Scott is here. We can come to the police commission. We don't want the investigators and all of them to forget about our loved ones. We want to let them call us. My investigator, he calls me every week, wherever he is. come over, please. Scott, he calls me all the time, even if there's nothing that he can really tell me. But I appreciate him calling me and say, Ms. Brown, I'm just calling to check on you. And have you heard anything? And I say no. But he calls me, and I would like him to say a few words about whatever. Did you say?
No problem. Yes, I do call as often as I can. I actually responded to the scene that day in the afternoon. I am one of the investigators that has worked on it all these years. It is an open and active investigation, and we're always looking for information. There is a reward bulletin, and anybody that has any information, whether they think it's important or not, please call and share it.
Her situation that happened here concerning her husband, it happened how many years ago? Not too many. And it's now has been solved. And I'm still waiting today for a trial date to happen. No one, I'm gonna speak the truth. The African American young men that are being murdered in this country is not valued, neither is they loved. And the reason that many of these cases is not being solved is because, to be very honest, they don't care. And the time has risen for my people, my nation to rise and take the position of who they are and stand up and fight for our children. The fact that all these children is being murdered in this country, in the cities, I said cities. I'm not holding Mayor London Breed responsible, because these evils has happened way before Mayor London Breed.
Give me your attention, give me your silence, and we'll begin. Even the drummer know what I'm talking about, so you hear the drums? When I say I go, he's gonna say I may, and then it's gonna be quiet. We're gonna see if everybody's listening or whether they still socializing. Again, in the African tradition, always ask permission from the elders to continue. I go. They didn't get the memo, but it's a beautiful thing when we can all be one, even in silence. Silence is heavy. Arturo's going to provide the wind beneath my libations. My name is Brother Clint. Everybody say, hey, Brother Clint. Sometimes you say things with your mouth, your ears hear it, and your brain records it. You'll get home and you'll say, what was that brother's name again? And you'll have already recorded. You say, Brother Clint. Mm-hmm. I go. Amen.
Amen. How are we supposed to do it?
Libations is the pouring out of liquid in honor of those people who have passed away. Give me some fire, Turtle. There we go. My mother's name was Roberta Robinson. I pour out a little love and say her name, Roberta Robinson. And you, the village, say Ashe. Ashe. Ah. If you found $1 on the ground, what could you say? Ashe. Mm-hmm. I want to pour out a little love for the young man that we're here to honor, and all the others whose names we will, during this time, say their name. Aubrey Abracasa. Everybody say Aubrey. Aubrey. Say Aubrey. Aubrey. Now your voice has vibrated through this water, and this is really a special liquid now. Anola D. Maxwell. There you go. That's Sophie's mama. Say the names of your loved ones as I pour. Fill up the air with the names of your loved ones. If you don't say their names, they're not going to say your name when you go. Say their names. Say their names. Honor them. Say their names. Say their names. Little bro, you know some people you could say. Say their names, man. Say the names of your loved ones. Wally Hardy. Adele Hardy.